Hi, I'm Mark Anderson. This presentation will demonstrate the setup and operation of the GrowthPower Product Configurator. The Product Configurator is an example of an expert system. By that we mean your product experts at your company, the engineering and R&D people who know the product inside and out. They know what options and features work well together and know which ones don't. Those product experts are typically responsible for maintaining the base models, associated features, options, and rules, very much like they maintain and are responsible for bills of material today. Once a base model is created and established, typically an order taker, order entry person, is prompted through a series of questions during a configuration session and chooses options for each feature based upon what the customer wants in that particular product. The expertise and knowledge of the product expert becomes available to the order taker based upon the rules and comments provided in the base model by the product expert. Base model, features, options, and rules control the creation of a unique part number and a unique bill of material for a specific sales order. The configured part is then used by the sales order, or the quote, and works just like any other part in GrowthPower. Configured parts are fully integrated with all of GrowthPower. They can be used on bills of material, on sales orders, in work orders, and are properly processed by MRP. Base models can be master scheduled, functioning as a very powerful type of planning bill for MRP purposes. In this example, let's outline in a product configurator manner a very simple basic car, an automobile, and see how the product configurator is used to control the features and options that are selected and develop the bill of material for an automobile that a customer might want. In our example, the base model name is simply enough called car. Associated with each base model is a base model bill of materials. Bill of materials here would typically contain all of those parts and subassemblies that would be common to every possible conceivable permutation of options that a customer might choose. And it's quite possible that there might not be any such bills on the base model level, so that field might well be blank, with the bill of material components being driven by the option selections themselves. The base model also has a routing and an alternate, like any other manufactured part in GrowthPower, to help drive the costing of the product and provide a means for estimating the lead time of the product through MRP and CRP purposes. The base model is comprised of a group of features. Features represent characteristics of the product that are important to the customer and allow the customer to choose options for each of those features. In our simple example, we have a feature called body style. It is a required feature. In other words, you have to choose a body style. You can't have a car without a body style. The options for that feature include two-door body style, four-door body style, and a wagon body style. The engine feature would offer the customer choices of standard engine or large engine, and likewise other features for interior color, exterior color, and sound system offer other options that the customer might choose. Finally, we have an option that we've called other option. It is not a required feature. The customer may choose or not from among the options listed here. Rules are established by your product experts to require or disallow specific combinations of features or features and options based upon a choice that's already been made in the configuration session. This tool and functionality prevents the selection of combinations that may be incompatible with one another for technical reasons. You don't want to mix a 120 volt parts with a 220 volt system. You wouldn't want to mix diesel components with a gasoline vehicle. Things like that. Rules prevent the selection of options for marketing reasons. Like the marketing might just not want to sell it that way. It's possible to build a purple car with a light green interior, but your marketing guys might not want to do that. It's also useful to prevent the selection of options that are not good for serviceability reasons, perhaps because they're too expensive to maintain, because parts are too rare or too difficult to come by, or certain combinations of options might not work well enough together out in the field. Rules provide the product expert the means and the tools to make the configuration process, as seen by the order taker, to be far more user-friendly. For our automobile example, let's consider several rule examples. Let's say that we want to create a rule that says when the body style is equal to the wagon body style, we're going to require the large engine. The reason for that would be a technical one. The wagon body is heavier, and we want to require the larger engine to move it around. Let's create another rule that says when the customer selects the standard engine, we're going to disallow the trailer hitch option at the very end of the configuration session because we need the larger engine to pull a trailer. And let's in place a third rule that says when the body style is the four-door body style, we're going to require the pinstriping just because marketing says we should do so. Perhaps the four-door body style is the upscale model, and we want to make sure all those go out the door looking really sharp with the high margin pinstriping. In a few moments we'll be taking a look at the Product Configurator setup entry screens. Be aware that during a typical configuration session where a user is actually using a base model to configure a part, that configuration session is available in 4 places in GrowthPower. If you have the Cost Estimating and Quotes module, you may configure a part during the quote process. And that's an optional module for GrowthPower, so you may or may not have the Cost Estimating and Quote module. The other 3 places include Enter and Maintain Sales Orders. Everybody's got that in GrowthPower. Enter and Maintain Parts. Everybody's got that. And an Enter and Maintain Work Orders. The most common place for a configuration session to take place by a user is during Enter and Maintain Sales Orders. So when we get to that part of the presentation, that's what we'll be taking a look at, entering and maintaining sales orders. From the main menu, number 10 on that menu is the Product Configurator. When you select the Product Configurator, you'll come to a menu that includes 5 print or report options and 1 maintain a base model option. We'll take a look at maintain base models. From the maintain base model menu, you're prompted for a base model name, and when you go to enter a name like our car, you'll see a screen that looks very much like this. You'll have at the top of the screen will be the base model name. There will be a part number that would likely be a phantom that would include parts that are common to all of the options that might be chosen. You may of course leave this field blank because it may be possible, it may be likely, that there wouldn't be a large number or perhaps even any number of parts common to your particular base model. Next we have a base model description, and then third we would have the routing number in alternate, and this routing number as alternate is used in the creation of the base model part number during the configuration session.